Guys, welcome back to another video. We're on road cam today. Thought we'd do something a little bit different. And I just want to just let you guys know, for those who are really new to HGV driving and are looking to get their license, they're thinking about doing it, they don't really know anything about it, but they fancy a crack at it essentially. And hopefully the audio is working this time, because I've got the previous couple of videos that I've done have actually been using the internal microphone, but they shouldn't have been, because I should have been using my little external microphone I've got. Hopefully that should be working now and you can hear me much clearer without any road noise. But so yeah, I thought I'd just discuss the types of jobs that you might find as a Class 2 driver, essentially. So when you first start your HGV, you've passed your tests and all that kind of stuff, and start looking for work. The best thing to do, in my experience, I say my experience, I have no experience yet, but the one thing that I have heard is to get signed on with agencies, because a variety of work can vary quite a lot with agency work. So you know, it's a good opportunity and a good way to experience lots of different types of HGV work without being sort of tied into a particular job. So what types of work could you find, for example? The easiest type of work to get into is probably palletised goods. They call this multi-drop. It's essentially like Amazon deliveries, but with a truck, really. So you'll have either a 7.5 ton or an 18 tonner, something like that, with a bunch of pallets on it. Get to the yard for about 6 o'clock in the morning. Leave, well, I say between 6 and 7 generally, and then of course they'll load you up with the forklifts, and you'll go out and make your deliveries to businesses and residential addresses. So it's a very mixed bag of the types of deliveries that you'll get, but generally it will be palletised goods. On those kind of jobs, you'll usually have a truck with a tail lift and a pump truck, and you'll just make curbside deliveries to those sort of places. Lots of people like that, you know. It's very structured, I suppose. You know, it's definitely day work. You don't get any nights out with work like that, and lots of people find it you know, kind of the bread and butter of trucking, really, I suppose. You know, moving stuff from one place to another. You don't generally tend to find any issues other than customers not in. The only problems I would foresee would be places to park, especially with residential addresses. Sometimes they can be a bit tight, you know. But when I went out with one of the guys in the truck to do these sorts of deliveries, you know, 1 minute we were reversing down this really tight street to deliver a mirror to somebody, and the next we were delivering to an industrial estate. So, you know, it can be varied, but generally it's the same types of deliveries. So that's palletised goods. Other types of work include things like tankers. This can range quite a bit, really. It can range from anything from you know, different chemicals, petroleum, oil tankers. You'll probably need some ADR stuff if you're doing hazardous goods, you know, chemicals and things like that. So ADR is one of those things that you'll probably do in time if that's something you want to do. And generally the pay rates are a bit higher for ADR, because obviously you've spent the time going through the ADR course and things like that. Again, you can use ADR for Class 2 or Class 1, so it's definitely a good thing to have, you know, the ticket for. Get that under your belt. You know, you're seen as much more versatile if you've got those sorts of those licensing and certification. Other work for Class 2 generally is things like flatbeds, machinery, diggers, things like that. Those kind of jobs will involve strapping down things to your bed, and generally speaking that would go to things like businesses. Some work I quite fancy doing actually is your flatbed stuff, because you don't know what you're getting from one day to the next, you know, different things to strap down, so that could be quite interesting work. Other things include stuff like waste disposal, so you've got your bin lorries, and you've also got things like home delivery oil stuff. In Norfolk we've got some houses have got oil-fired central heating, because some of our properties are really out in the sticks in the middle of nowhere. So for those properties that don't have gas, they've got these oil burners, so you can deliver oil that way with the tankers. Other bits of other types of roles, working for companies like AO and Currys, places like that deliver white goods, which would also require you to install those things as well. Things like washing machines, fridge freezers, televisions, and you've got things like DFS, sofa deliveries, beds, mattress man, places like that. Usually those kind of things are two-man, so if you want a bit of company and you're driving lorries, then they're good ones to go for. I personally am quite antisocial, so I'd rather just do the deliveries on my own. And then of course you've got consider whether you want to be having nights out, tramping essentially. They're less common on Class 2, but you can still tramp with the Class 2 if you find the right jobs. So that's something to consider. Do you want to, spend your time away from home, which you'll probably do. I don't know how the shift patterns work with Class 2 for things like that, but you'll have to look into that. If anyone does any Class 2 tramping, feel free to comment below. Let us know how you what sort of jobs you've got and what you do. That'd be interesting to know. The other type of work is actually HIAB and things like that. You've got your hook and your grab via HIAB, lorry mounted crane, and essentially your hook is for things like ton bags, aggregates, things like that, sand, gravel. And then you've got your grab, which is generally things like packs of bricks and things like that. So you'll pinch those up with the grab thingy attachment, and that can be quite interesting work. Generally, you'll load up at the builders merchants, visit residential addresses and building sites. You've got tipper work as well. Tipper work apparently pays quite well, so that's something I quite fancy doing. The only thing I've heard with tipper work is that it's very A to B and back again, rinse and repeat. So you'll be doing a contract with a particular building site. You'll go from one place to another, and you might do 6 or 7 loads in one day. So a lot of people might find that a bit repetitive, which I can understand. So that's fair enough. And yeah, there's plenty of other types of work as well, that I haven't even mentioned. So but you'll find your way. You'll decide what you want to do. As I say, agencies are a really great way to go because you get that variety. And you'll probably do a job with an agency and think, well, I really like doing this, and then you can look for a more permanent position in that line of work. So you'll find your way. You'll find your way. Speaking of agencies, I will do another video very shortly on my experience with an agency. I did ring them yesterday, sent them my CV, had a chat to them, and I'll make another video with my thoughts on that, and you can decide whether you want to go agency. You might not want to go agency. You might want to go try and find a full-time role straight away, and if so, then that's up to you. Do what you want to do. So yeah, that's all I got time for today, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys in